This is where it comes down to this. Terry Crews and Roy Crews here. This is the championship of the Inregular season tournament of NHL 26. Both teams have made it to the finals. Seattle Kraken knocks down the Jets, the Blues, and the Flames as they're in New York and Long Island to face against the Islanders. Islanders have won 3 games in a row, on the other hand, beating the Devils, beating the Capitals, and beating the Blue Jackets. Now these teams are ready to meet for one last time in the regular season tournament in the finals. Tonight's starting goaltender is Ilya Sorokin, and for the Kraken, Joey Daccord. It's been an insane part of it, and we really love seeing things right across from the alley. And as for the Kraken and Islanders, they done so well to make it perfectly right out of the way. And now, these are the twos that will be playing each other. Of course, the number 1 seed teams are always the favorite, but they couldn't find the answers to beat over by the others. So therefore, it's the 4th versus the 5th seed in the finals. Here are the starting players for the Seattle Kraken and the New York Islanders. Let's take it over to you, Roy, for the Kraken.
Thank you. Now this time is the start off to be here. Jared McCann has built some pressure T-motions with some building shots on the range. Then along with Vince Dunn, the other hand has made a send-it pass with the tape-to-tape zones. He has great and powerful passes and a speed-boosting breakout. Brandon Montour, the elite edges have done sharp nipple turns and some heavy slap shot with the rocket. Jordan Eberle, the backhand beauty and a big tipper, along with Matty Beniers, he does have no contest zone with the overpowering buck battle strength to have a little bit of a knockdown to have some better confident scores. Chandler Stephenson is the wheels glass fast lightning skate speed that only makes it from one change to the other. Then it's Eli Tolvanen with another extremely heavy slap shot that goes with the rocket blast for Tolvanen. And finally we have his Capo Caco, unstoppable, makes some powerful reverse hits.
Now let's go over to the Islanders. Starting off is Ilya Sorokin. He has a great recharge ability and is the best goaltender that plays for it. Shut down 3 teams, and now what will he do for the finals? There might be only one option to have it all. Along with Bo Horvat, he makes a quick draw and the Born leader to have that one swinging him by. Ryan Pollock with the rocket and the stick 'em up zone, he makes extremely heavy slap shots, and stick 'em up is a great way to have his defensive effort. Adam Pellich with the stick 'em up and the quick pick along with the warrior resistance that plays well. Matthew Barzal with the wheels and elite edges along with the tape to tape, he also does everything on his own. Along with Brayden Schenn with his Born leader, and along with Relentless and the Spark Plug, he makes a speed boosting hits. Then it's Anders Lee with the big break and a big tipper. Then across is Kyle Palmieri. The 1T motion only makes a powerful, accurate one-timer. And then it's Alexander Romanov for the Relentless and the hipsters. Devastating the hip checks to have that one hipping up the check. Then it's Jean-Gabriel Paygue with the quick draw and the quick pick zones. Effortlessly interceptions and strategy face-off ability. Then it's Casey Cizikas, the quick draw and a spark plug. And last but not least, we have is Anthony Duclair. Wheels is the fast lightning skating speed, the same thing on the other hand.
Well, there you have it, folks. These are the last starting groups here in the finals. So therefore, we are going down to Long Island to start the game.
My last broadcasting of the commentators for the irregular season tournament. Joining with us for the finals is Craig. He's also along with the other groups as well. And we've got Boomer and Jay for the third commentary of the crew. And for the center ice, I give a warm welcome. It's one of our biggest and strength. And ladies and gentlemen, it's Brent that will be finishing up here for the night and beyond. Now the finals starts right here of the NHL 26 on EA Sports.
Kraken, Isles, next after this.
It's one of our famous and the best here in Elgin, New York. It's the finals of the Inregular season tournament of the NHL 26. Finals is where it begins, and as for being along my broadcast partner, I am Craig, and happy to have us here. Tonight is a big moment, and we are ready and out inside in Long Island, New York, as the Kraken meets the Islanders in the finals. Tonight's starting goaltender is right in the range between Kraken, and on the other side of it is Joey DeCord. Vince Dunn will start off, and you'll find Alex Larson. Larson to pass over to Vince Dunn. He looks over to Larson. Larson finds it over to Matty Beniers. Beniers swings that one for the pass back to Dunn. Dunn swings to Larson. Looks to Everly. Everly with the shot. That one is blocked up, and it's rebound by Anders Lee. Schaefer with the big rumble down for the Kraken. This will go the other way for Heineman. Well, Horvath will start off. Big save here by Joey DeCord, and a rebound here by Matty Beniers. This will give to McMahon.
After a longness of the big hit, I was really seeing this, and it's a great save of it, and there's a lot of big knockdowns here. The Islanders are really watching on this, appearing it before. I've never seen how they were definitely doing this, but the only thing we are watching on is how the Islanders are going to pick it up.
This will get slammed down by toward the board. Here's Bo Horvath. Stick lifted. Rebounded by the Islanders. Here's Horvath in the zone. Big save by DeCord. Here's Capocaco the other way and gives it over to McMahon. McMahon sends a pass over to Vince Dunn. Dunn sends it over to Montour. Montour slings it off at the back. That one is given away by Ritchie. Ritchie will send that puck out of the zone. Get ready for a new line group change for the Islanders. And a pickoff play picking up by McMahon. Seattle the other way for the Kraken in the Islanders territory. Back behind the pass, Brandon Montour looks over to McMahon. Off to Kako. Offside on a shot. Glove save by Sorokin. That'll be a save for the first game. And this one will get a regrouping advantage with just under 16:30 to go.
Just look at how you see Evander's lead. That is a big knocking right into the pass percentage, and that one bangs it. You know, that's definitely what Anders Lee made that one with the hurt of it. The painful of it doesn't mean the look of it.
Not a time left in the period, though. No score in the game in the first period. Chen wins the draw. Here's Palic the other way for the Islanders. They'll pick it up back over to Shen. Stick lifted up, and it's poked away. Now here's Tolvanen. Rushing attacker, now finding again to right. Right with the shot. Big save by Sorokin. Sorokin will hold things up with under 16 minutes in the first period. And he'll have another puck drop ready. Speaking of which here, and we are seeing things that Brayden Schenn, after transfer from the St. Louis Blues, he's looking for a chance for his first win appearance with the team in the tournament round. And he's definitely trying to see how he can able to handle it all on his better take. What's your percentage afterwards?
Well, the start-off happened to be only with Brayden Schenn, and I've really seen it, how he was definitely making a lot of right moves on the range. And what I mentioned to say about how Brayden Schenn's been doing this, a lot of hard picks is definitely going to have to do it all, change off that they do. You know, not anybody's going to be playing it perfectly, but when Brayden Schenn has it all covered in there, that is where he's going to get into the right stuff. That's Brayden Schenn with a great face-off.
Yeah, I mean, I got to say things about Brayden Schenn. I mean, he's playing it perfectly, confidently. Now he'll have to wait and find out how he will do
To play on his better behaviors in the game. This is going to be his better performance of the night to show how it's done.
New York the other way, Schaefer. Schaefer moving it in with a across the gate cone shot. Big pat save, shot by DeCord. DeCord holds it only with under 15 minutes in the first period. And right now they're getting another warming up to do in the face-off zone. Ryan Pollock, he will have that heavy slap shot on the edges in their range. He's trying to win a quick draw. Now to win, here's Osiak. Alexiak over now finding again Winterton. Rebound by Alexiak. Cuts in motion. To find a pass to Gooderoo. Gooderoo with the rebound here for the Seattle Kraken. The Kraken moves around over to Montour. Here's Frederick Goodrew. Pass Montour. Montour pass over to Frederick Goodrew. Goodrew waiting around patiently, now finding Brennan Montour. Here's another one to Goodrew. Goodrew with the pass on side shot, saved by Sorokin. 13:22 to go in the first period, and they'll have that one covered it up. Another puck drop coming up. The range is in simple on the range of emotion. between Seattle and New York Islanders. They've been one of the toughest teams that they really are watching it on. And nothing that anybody can play for in regular season tournaments. Only the regular ones. For Seattle, they beat against the other team for the game of the night against the Anaheim Ducks. And they couldn't play with a win to face against the New Jersey Devils. That was the last part of it, that they have already missed it out on the other hand.
Well, it's just only what happens with Seattle Kraken. They're starting to get so much of aggressiveness, and the only shot of it doesn't mean to have that attempt. The only one that they really did for is just having and keeping it out, certainly the whole entire opinion. No matter what you do, you really have a lot of patience, and you're definitely going to get that one out of it shortly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about Seattle Kraken, but I bet that this is going to be the great takes that they're really passing it for. They've done so well. Got to keep moving what you got to do.
McCann pass to Osaic. Osaic went down, no penalty on New York. That was broken. McMahon shot, he scores! What a ditch back and a rebound! McCann scores that goal, making Seattle on by 1.
I don't know how that happened, but that was Jared McCann. That one changes over. What a big turnover around.
Now, I'm watching this here, and watch what McCann makes. He just goes unstoppable. He just messes it up, and then it goes right to the goaltender. I've never seen how he was able to do for him. That one gets it over, and that one was a pickoff play. What a great goal by McCann.
Yeah, I can see what happened with that. That is a bad turnover for New York Islanders. And what happened with that? That one dipped it in.
The start off for the New York Islanders as they already have it up with a 1-0 lead for Seattle. McCann's first goal in the regular season finals, and they're trying to look for 2 again.
Well, that Seattle just really had to do all of it. It's not a big use of it, but they just got to keep on trying to do the effort. Nothing is really that great. I mean, you just have to make sure you really have the right chance to keep it back out of the way.
Bumped it across. Now here's Sauchi. Big knockdown for Seattle. Well, Hobart finds Anders Lee. Anders Lee with the shot. Fired that one and a blocking mate. Heineman trying to rebound it. And here's Everly, the other hand for the Kraken. McMahon shot, tips it off the stick, and it goes up high and netting, out of play. Now checking in the center box, I will now have it over. It's Brent for the New York Islanders, Bo Horvat.
Thanks, fellas. About Bo Horvat, he's really playing it often lately. The whole of his point, and then what his effort just coming to fruition. What we need to know for is Bo Horvat's better chance on his own winning face-off strategy. The quick draw is the one way to have it all. When nobody stands in for the crowd, he really has to do all of it and the playing off on his opponent. There's no better use that they're really starting off of Bo Horvat on his own passing effectiveness. This is definitely where it gets to a winning draw, and the face-off will be all for anybody. I'll be finding out how the Bo Horvat will do with the face-off to keep the strategy going. Back to you guys. Thank you so much, Sir Brent. Here's Braden Shen. Wright's got it back here for the Seattle Kraken with under 9 minutes remaining in the first. Wright waits. Pass. Back to Wright. Almost turned over. And here's Stephenson now again to Evans. Evans pass. Stephenson to Lindgren. Stephenson with the shot. Range the goalpost. Wright goes over again to Lindgren. Lindgren to pass to Stephenson. Shots blocked. Rebound by Seattle. Lindgren trying to battle for the loose puck, and that will escape out of the blue line. What a blocking shot afterwards. I mean, that is the stuff that they really did for them. Not even really what I mentioned it, but that's really another impressive sign for the defense effort.
Now back to Brent. This will be New York Islanders to the Seattle Kraken, and therefore, Vince Dunn.
Well, Vince Dunn has been doing so much of it on his impatient end, and what he may be able to do on his tip zone is a no contest and strength, and a send it pass only does it for 1 for now. But one thing is really important is how strong that Vince Dunn is able to do it for his own alternative captain. Better play in this effort doesn't mean to do once, but the only thing to do twice of it for the Kraken is how they were going to get their strategies in there. This is a lot of work of energy that they needed. But when Seattle has it down, that's a lot of big receptions. No pass-off with Dubai standpoint happens to Vince Dunn, and it's a great way to have that one strategy out. I'm looking forward to this playing this effort, and hopefully there's one change to the other to have that one rolling by. We'll see what Vince Dunn has for every period. Back to you. Here's Larson now here for the Seattle Kraken. Now finds over Vince Dunn. And Larson with the pass over to Stevenson.
Stevenson waits. Pass off. Broken by Shen. Shen pass to Richie. Richie the other hand for the Islanders. Richie, for backhander, saved by the core. Vince Dunn. Dunn gives to Larson. Larson rolls the other way now. They will stop and freeze here. Pass to Dunn. Dunn looks up in the air, looks again at Kako. Kako, pass to Dunn. Dunn looks to Matty Beniers. He shoots one, saved by Sorokin. Adam Pellich, broken by Matty Beniers with a no contest zone. Here's another one to Dunn. Dunn pass to Kako, and the Islanders will get it cleared out of it. 5 minutes remaining in the first period. Horvat, right over the pass of it, and that one goes off the stick and rebounded by Dunn. And he'll have it to Larson. Under 5 minutes to go in the first period. Seattle back into the Islander territory. This one gives it over, and D'Angelo will have it back to debut. Here's Pellich. The pass over to Horvat. Horvat on the rush. This one squeezes it. And Larson will give that pass around the back to Osaic. Osaic now finds it over to McMahon. Seattle with new changeoff. McMahon trying to get away from the defenders. Osaic now back again to Montour. Montour shot. Good save by Sorokin. Schaefer with the rebound. Now back to Pullett.
This is so much timing for Sorokin. And what they mentioned to do for is that recharging is going to keep it unbelievably tight. Whenever he did that, I mean, he's really a pushing speed.
No better than chance afterwards. We're up. Keep going, Sorokin.
Eberle. Stops made by Sorokin. Under 3 minutes to go in the first period. I'll get ready for another puck drop and ready.
I have bad news to hear about McCann. And it looks like Jeremy McCann, he's definitely have that one shotting it and blocking it down. And then that one really hits. And that doesn't really get into it. And that's a neat problem that's going to have to replace.
McCann is in the medical room, and we'll have to hear about the updates here later from Brent if any changes happen.
Well, I'm pretty sure that Jared McCann is going to definitely have to sit out. And every time this happens, I mean, you'll have to watch the rest of the game without playing on ice.
Frederick Gooder fighting Ryan Lindgren. Winterton! Oh, a big hit down in the center box. Holmstrom now finding Palat, and glove save by the cord. He'll have that one covered up with only 2:17 remaining in the first period.
They're still looking like they want to get that goal. A chance for the Islanders. They really wanted to have that one pushing in the efforts.
1-0 Seattle. Nearing the 2-minute mark. And the win. Fires in. Another save by the cord. Richie. Evans gives it over. Now finding it back to Winterton. Winterton pass now finds Evans. Evans looks over to Gooderoo. Gooderoo to pass to Lindgren. Lindgren to look to Gooderoo. Gooderoo. Chances over to Lindgren. Lindgren backhander. What a save by Sorokin. Blindside. Glove save by Sorokin.
What a nice stop. That's a great effort.
Denied it again. Rebound by Shen. Now here's Richie the other hand for the Islanders. Down to a final minute in the first period. Starting to look for the goal for the Islanders. Osaic has it to Wright. Wright looks to Kraken. No offside for Seattle. Kraken rolls in front. Another save by Sorokin. Adam Pellich looks to Matthew Barzal. That one hits it pretty badly. And back to Richie. 30 seconds left in the first period. Richie up. Shoots one. Another blocker save by the cord. That one escapes the zone. And as Islanders will take a break here in the first period. And Kraken will fire that one out. That ends the first period, and it's a 1-goal start as McCann has taken it over. Seattle starts with a 1-0 lead, and as for a big hit down for Islanders, they are trailing by 1. Second period will be underway shortly when we return to hockey on the NHL 26 on EA Sports. Be back with us soon after the break. First intermission is next.
Hey everyone, me phone 11 here, and the other side of it, as I got a brand new here, Son of Beast. That's right, fellas. Welcome to the first intermission of the NHL Finals of the Irregular Season Tournament on EA Sports. We got to start off for Seattle as they took an early lead in the first period, but not as well as the New York Islanders. They have been sweeping it out, so much effort with the hit. This really means it that they just keep it out and going and going. Here's how they did after the first period. It was 13 over 8 shots on goal for Seattle as they already took in despair. After McCann takes that goal, that really was where it does start off to have that great goal in. Then, the next one happens. 17 over 15 hits. That one is blocking in traffic and definitely out of the way. 5:26 over 1 minute for Seattle time on attack. 91 over 85 percentage on the passing effectiveness for New York Islanders. And then 9 over 3 face-off wins for the New York Islanders. They're starting to get a lot of money of it down. Here are the action trackers on the other side of it as it goes with a bunch of shots and hits. And as for Jared McCann, he will not be returning here on ice. We'll see what happens with the update with you shortly here during the midway market period in a second. But right now, let's see what your status is for you, Phone 11, for the New York Islanders. These hits are not always a favorable, and what happens with that? I mean, that is a long and strucky offensive line groups, and no change-up has really ever been doing it for New York Islanders. They've been sweeping it so much effort. Nothing has been changed in, nothing is given out, and whatever happens with that, I mean, New York Islanders, they're trying to get that one, sweeping it out, and then do as long as they can. They cannot let it lose, because what happens is that the New York Islanders have that one sweeping it with the block shot. They can't get away with this. They got to start finding figurations to have that one answer up to have it all tied in. Now let's have it over to you, Son of Beast for Seattle Kraken. That first goal was unlucky play to have that turnover. I mean, that turnover really did turn out to be real. I mean, I don't know how they were doing this, but whatever happens to Jared McCann, he just had that one ripping his way, and he got the blade back, and then he starts messing on Sorokin. That's a great deke on it, and they try to make the trick move, and they got an early start for Seattle Kraken. What a great play this is, and nothing much else you could do about Seattle is that when you take that rebounding in zone, if you're a Kraken player, you just need to have that one great strength. And that one goes with the mess around on Sorokin, you got a great shot on it. That is a great early lead for Seattle Kraken. And suffice to say of this one, this wasn't lucky at all to see where it does take in. What are your thoughts here for the second period, and what's going to happen with that? I'm going to bet that the New York Islanders are going to have that one tying up with a 1. And at Seattle, it looks like they might have it all shot of it to have that blocking effort. And it looks like the Islanders may have the answers in there to tie the game. But I'm not even sure if that will happen. So this is going to be anybody's game to start off with the second period. We'll see what it goes with. All right, we'll wait and see about that. And for now, let's go back to New York as we finish the first intermission here. Let's see what it takes for New York Islanders, if their answer is made or not. See you all folks later for the second intermission on the other side of it. Now back to Craig to start the second period. Welcome back, everybody who's ready to get started for the second period in UBS Arena. All teams rehydrated, and we're off for the second period. Let's see what happens, where it goes on. All right, the viewer takes here for the first period recap. I will now have it over to Boomer and Jay for the first period of a start-off that happened with the Seattle Kraken, and they messed that one up here on the bad turnovers. Well, I mean, this is a big bad start of it, and as we're watching on this, I wasn't pretty sure how that was going to definitely happen, but the only way I need to judge it on this is how they're playing it confidently. The better range of it is really turning off really well, but as for Seattle, that's for McCann. He's definitely off on ice, and unfortunately, he won't be playing afterwards, so we might have to watch on this for McCann, and he will definitely have to watch the rest of the game without being back on ice. Delay penalty is going to be on the New York Islanders. This one, man, attacker is on. And this will freeze in play as the interference is called on Heineman.
New York number 51 commits for interference.
New York Islanders. And the only thing they do not need to know how that's going to change is they're battling it out. They're trying to push him out of the way. And that's interference. Yeah, that is an easy play when they're asking for Emil Heineman. He's in the penalty box, and that's going to be the first penalty kill for New York. The Islanders not going to make a good start. Seattle Kraken will start off with the first power play advantage here in the Islanders territory. Islanders really have to start watching this because whenever they do this, they have to make sure they watch in transformation. They cannot let it loose down unless somebody gets that one over. Have
Finds back the other way, finds over to Tolmanen. Kamokaka. And broken up by Matthew Barzal. He'll have that one swinging that one out. And Peggy will clear it out. Here's Evans now for the Kraken. McMahon. Good cut motion here. Here's McMahon. He shoots one. Another save by Sorokin. Sorokin stops that one with only 17:33 remaining in the second period. And he'll have another puck drop ready. Islanders still waiting on Bo Horvat with the winning puck drop. And as for Matty Beniers, take the advantage. Matty Beniers wins the draw. Here's Larson. Pass to Tolmanen. Tolmanen shoots. Saved by Sorokin. And rebound by Schaefer. This will give to Bo Horvat, and he will have that one cleared out for Holmstrom. Took that smash down here, and the Islanders will go offside without the shorthanded play.
I've got a lot of bad feelings with this in here, and you got to see what I'm talking about for the Islanders. They're really starting to clear that one out. Whenever Heineman's really getting there, I mean, this is the startup that they're really going to have to play it off the right way. I mean, you won't have to believe this, because that only changes it when they need to do for. Not for the better excuses, but that really is a long effort to have that one carried out. Eberle now finds Tolmanen. 30 seconds left for the Seattle power play. He finds on the side. He shoots another glove save by Sorokin. 20 seconds remaining for the Seattle power play. And 16:40 remaining in the second period. They'll have another puck drop ready. A lot of advantage here with only 20 seconds. Matty Beniers getting a lot of warmed up again. Wins the back-to-back drawing, winning faceoff. And done. Pass Beniers. Beniers, backhander shot, has blocked it off. And Pollock will send it over to Pegu. And the power play has come to expire as he down to 0. Heineman's out of the box. And this will get a full strength for New York Islanders. They've been doing really well. I mean, what a save by Sorokin. I mean, that's really what they were expecting it to do. Whatever they really had, it turned out, that's definitely a long, long chance. Nobody has ever been watching on this, but that is a great way that they're really starting to give up with a powerful ledge to have that one carried it out.
That's really what they did for us. Sorokin, what a save.
And as for defenders,
They really have picked it all up. They cannot let it get away with that.
After a save by Sorokin, he'll stop that in play with under 15:30 remaining in the second period. When he went over 17 shots on for the hits, as they're trying to look for another puck draw. And now the win will be on the Islanders. New York back the other way for Ritchie. Ritchie sending in for the Seattle Kraken. Up on the opposite side, shine shot. What a save by Joey DeCourt. Whittington with the rebound, and now it's back to Vince Dunn.
well, he's getting a lot tired afterward. Joey DeCourt, he really had that one separating it. That zone is going to definitely have to draw it out.
Pollock now finding Matthew Barzal. Here come the Islanders. Will carry that one away, and this will be Alex Larson. Sends it around the net. Vince Dunn will have it to Malense. Broken up by Ritchie. Here's Barzal. Shots blocked by Vince Dunn. Vince Dunn will clear that one out. Ritchie. New line group change for the Islanders. And that one doesn't get carried in with the display as Kraken will have that one backhander his own. And will be an icing on Seattle Kraken. No chance in effort with a loose puck and chain with under 13:50 remaining in the second. They're starting to look for that goal. In between the scoring drought, skipper Joey DeCourt and Elliot Sorokin, they have a huge part of it saved, but only once had changed it with the turnovers. Now here's Palacha. Great save with DeCourt. Larson will have that sticking around the zone to Vince Dunn. And here's a pass off to Winterton. Winterton swings off the stick of Palat. Rebound by Gooderud. Gooderud outside of it, now playing Larson. 13 minutes remaining in the second. Gooderud shoots one, another save by Ilya Sorokin. Rebound by Payton. Have that one kicking it over. Allen for the loose puck. Can't get a clear out. Larson's got it back. Dunn's got it. Pass Larson. Larson pass to Dunn. Fires a shot. Another save again by Sorokin. Pass back to Dunn. Dunn looks over Larson. Larson pass to Dunn. Dunn shoots. Redeflected off of the skater. And now here's Anders Lee. Man, Russian coming. Full tie. He scores! Anders Lee. We're now tied at Long Island. 21.
Well, how about that? Anders Lee is running away from the fleet. And see you later. And then it goes right to Anders Lee. That beats by Joey DeCourt. They got it all tied up in the second period.
Well, that is a leadoff strength. Now, in this league, he's really on the wheels. Fast percentage. Nobody is going to be watching. And that is a great goal. And he knocks the bottom. That one is right in the range. You did not see how good the cord was responding it. Anders Lee got it right in for the net. Just like the last game against the Blue Jackets, they are now tied for one under 12 minutes in the second period. Now that's right, we'll have it. Here's Montour. 12 minutes swings over to Osaic. Osaic got past the right. Right gets knocked over. Schaefer the other way for the New York Islanders. Andre Palat. Final side, he finds Montour. Montour to Tolvanen. Pass over to Wright. Wright holds it in the corner, now finds it Osaic. Osaic shot, wristers, he scores! Another leg goes down for Seattle. They take the lead, and now it's a 2-1 game.
Oh my gosh, I mean, Alexei, how do you really have to respond that one quickly? That's nothing to do.
Now the Islanders had one change, and after 30 seconds in the period, watch what Osaic makes. He makes a wrister, and nobody was watching on this. I mean, that's a great help here for the Kraken, but watch this wrister. That flings right toward the net. I would never see how they were doing it. And I have to say that Jimmy Oleksiak had that one with the great range. That one is a deep shot of it, and that one beats it off. And that wrister was pretty hard to carry. Nothing you can tell about it to imagine. That is another goal for the Kraken. Despite with the energy from the crowd tied up, it gets away for a 2-1 lead advantage for Seattle. What Seattle's got to do is they got to pick up the pace here, and as for New York Islanders, they got to start working it often. They cannot let it go off. The only thing that they need to do for them is they got to start figuring this out. Nobody is giving it better energy from the effort. And what happens with Seattle? They wanted to win it all, and definitely for the first ever play this offensive opportunity to have that winning chance. And as this bet might change, I think this one might be on Seattle. But New York Islanders, we'll see how they respond. Matty Beniers outside of the zone, now after the Lindgren. It's broken up by Andre Palat. Everly swings over across, regroups to Evans. And now he passes to Lindgren. No offside for Seattle. Here's McCann. And back to Palat. Palat with the rebounding effort. Off to Jean-Gabriel Pegu. Pegu, broken by Evans. And I'll have that one over to Lindgren. He'll have it dipped off the wall, and icing will be on Seattle. Not a chance. Play keeps going without icing. Evans finds Stephenson. He shoots one, and a save by Sorokin. Holmstrom will find a pass to Horvat. And Seattle. Backer defense now, and it's New York Islanders. Number 7 right at court, and here's Evans the other way. Gets the pass to Wright. White slows that one down, gets right over to the wheels to Stephenson. Stephenson finding some help on offense here. Looks to Wright, and that goes right to the net, and that's Sorokin. Will cover it over under 8 minutes in the second period. Ladies and gentlemen, we do have an update here for Jared McCann as he's now in the penalty in the medical room, and I'll hear an update for Brent. Thanks, fellas. About happening with Jared McCann, and he's definitely been racing that one out, and only the thing that happens with only Jared McCann, he's been lifting it in. I told one of the medical rooms that he will not be playing on ice. He'll be only be watching here, right from the bench, and with that, he's back on ice. But as for the moment it brings on, he will not be playing here with the rest of the group. Unfortunately, he is plucked, and then that's where this season will be the end of it. If their team wins or disadvantage, will be cut short for the irregular season matchup. This is definitely what happens with Jared McCann. He definitely had to do it all, but it wasn't totally enough that anyone wants to take the beat. That really explains it to how that happens with Kabakako and the rest of it. They're starting to look for some crowd energy, and they cannot let it get away with that. So therefore, McCann is out, and with his speedy recovery, we hope this happens to make it sure as possible. Back to you, Craig. All right, thank you so much here, Brian. And with the only thing that happens with that, we wish for his speedy recovery. And to make it as only one goal is a great way to have that one all, but the others won't be enough.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty bad hard to say about this for McMahon, and whenever you do for him, you just got to keep trying. But then after that, it's all over. Well, rest assured about this. I mean, we'll see what happens without it.
Gloving recharge save by Sorokin with under 5:16 remaining in the second period. The Stanley Cup playoffs is set.
as both teams are ready to get things on the matchup. And as for the biggest draw, it'll be a second versus third seed starting off in the Western Conference with the start of this postseason. The last postseason we started in the Eastern Conference, but now we go back the other way for the Western Conference with the second versus third seed. The Wilds will take on against the Stars. And then after that game, we'll see the Penguins. They will face against the Flyers on the other hand. And then tonight, for the Eastern Conference, we've got the Canes and the Sens that'll be joining for tonight's game with a matchup. And then following with the wrap-up of the game, we'll have the other side of it waiting it for you as we have the last part of it. And it gives Golden Knights facing against the Utah Mammoths. That'll be first games of 4 on the start of it. Don't miss out the Stanley Cup playoffs and the future of the home for the SRB Gaming on the other channel. Evans now back to Dunn. He looks over to Matty Beniers. Set to Evans. Evans shot off the mask and it goes right to the glass and back to Horvath.
Well, that energy is going to get that a lot of timing afterwards. Sorokin was making a big save of it, and he would never pay that off the press again.
Here's Bo Horvath now for the Islanders. Another save on the cord. McMahon finds Evans. He looks to Eberle under 3 minutes in the second period. Eberle swings it over to Lindgren. Looks off to Tobinen. Tobinen waits around, not finding Lindgren. Lindgren at Beniers. Beniers shoots one, blocked up again. Rebound by Adam Pelech. Pelech swings a pass over to Zizekas. Broken by Lindgren on a poke check. And now here's Evans. The swing over. New group for Seattle. Banks it around the net. Right to the corner. Now finding again on Tobinen. Goes to Osaic. Finds Tobinen. Tobinen again. Dished off the pass. Too soon. Adam Pelech with the rebound. Seattle turnover again. Plus save by Sorokin.
That's really going to be another turnover, and they could definitely got a lot of pressure on Sorokin. He's trying to get rehydrated up. That's a lot of energy.
And save on the cord. You'll get that rehydrated up with under 1 minute to go in the second period. 2-1 Seattle. Now as a lot of change-off happens, they're starting to look for the goal to have it tied up. Now the win for the Islanders. Here's Ryan Point. Swings it over. Eli Tobinen will have that one cleared out. Now finding to Wright. Wright with the pass to Osaic. Osaic. Throw again to Tobinen to Alexei. Here's Montour. Keep the shot. Never save by Sorokin. Right pass to Osaic. Montour squeezes. Blocked it up. High over the net and it's off the glass. King Gabriel Pengu trying to look for clearing. With the Fiat Busby to Holmstrom, the time is out and we end the second period. Here's a leadoff. After with the tie, it goes back up by 1. Kraken 2, Islanders 1. Second intermission is next after this. Third period will begin shortly after the intermission. See you folks later.
Hey everybody, it's me Phone 11 and Son of Beast here again as we welcome you back for the second intermission of the NHL Championship of the Irregular Season Tournament. Therefore, as the goal happens to Anders' lead, that one is tied it up, but it's suddenly cut short by Osaic as he has gotten his first NHL Irregular Season Tournament goal, and he has that one beating it over by Sorokin, and the party doesn't end off here. Here's what he did after the second period. 26 over 16 shots on goal for Seattle. They took 35 for the Islanders on a hit over 20. 11-29 time on attack happened to be Seattle over 148. 88.2 percentage as they're trying to get a close neck on the carry. Wasn't pretty much what they did, but you know, that's what they are really doing it for. 16 face-off wins for the New York Islanders over 8, and they had 2-minute penalty kill. That was on Emil Heineman, but had the interference and no power play made for the Seattle Kraken, with only 2 minutes of the power play minute. And here's the action trackers on the other side of it. As you see, there is not pretty much to change anything, but as only with the goal, with the odd man rush for Anders Lee and Jamie Osaic with the goal, they both have 1, but it seemed like the leadoff might be the big change-up to have that difference right along the way. All right, let's go over to you, me Phone 11, for how the Kraken got it back with the lead. Well, Kraken is really starting to get a lot of
Anger Shores to have that one keeping it coming. I mean, I cannot believe that Kraken is definitely getting a lot stronger here. The defender has scored his first goal in the irregular season tournament in the finals, but that doesn't mean that they really wants to get a goal and try to end it off here. He wants to have that contact, but it's a great way. You can get a lot of better chances on the offense. You keep it going, and you have a lot of changes to get into. This is pretty much how the Seattle Kraken are going to get into, and it might be their favorite to win the regular season tournament. Now let's go over to you, Centerpiece, for the New York Islanders. The Islanders really had found it up with the breakaway chain, and the one thing that we really mentioned it before, Islanders have found it to have that breakaway they have for Anders Lee. He rushes it, an unstoppable force doesn't really mean that they took a beat, but that really is the breakaway to have that one goal and tie it up. I mean, just only Anders Lee, that doesn't mean that everybody else keeps on getting it in, but that was really all it took. Islanders are really trying to answer it back to have that one keeping it going. They've got to see this to find out what happens then. And now for the finishing for the third period, who's going to win it all? I'm going to say Seattle. They're definitely one of the better teams, and I'm betting on this. This is definitely going to be their huge night to have that victory accomplishment. How about you, B411? The New York Islanders may not be able to find any answers with that, but I bet Seattle is definitely going to be winning for this part of the regular season tournament. Looks like it's going to be a one favorite for Seattle fans to enjoy the moment and bring it on home for the win. All right, let's see what happens with the third period as we end the second intermission. Let's go back to Craig along with the group. Third period, all comes down to this. And with all of it being said, thank you for joining us here for the intermission. And we will take you back down to Roy and Terry Crews for the post-game show. That's going to be after the game for the third period. Now, prepare for the third. Isles, Kraken, ready for our answers. Enjoy, everyone. It all comes down to the third period. Winner takes home the Inregular season tournament trophy. And will be crowned as the champions as we are underway in the third period. All right, fellas, I know this is the second period. I've got a lot of strategies to build in. How do you see afterwards there, guys? Well, I mentioned to say that the Islanders have really started to pick it up the pace here. They got a great breakaway chain right in his lead, but that one doesn't end the party here. As of Jamie Asaya could just set that card to goal, and he took it over with the lead with a tricky shot. You would not believe how he definitely would do for him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see how anything is going to change it, but the possible is no better effort would do the thing. So it seemed like that the Seattle Kraken are really starting to have that one making a mess afterwards. They don't believe it how they were definitely doing this, but that is a big race-on impact that they're really starting to do for it. I would not say how big it can get, but as long as they're doing this for now, they got to start making it count. Otherwise, they're going to definitely be letting all alone to have that one playing it out.
Here's Heineman outside of it, trying to look for Answers back. But the shot, big save by the Corey. And out of these, Larson will find over to McMahon. McMahon sends over to Matty Beniers. And here's Waits. The pass not finding to Vince Dunn. He'll have that one over to Montour and give the Matty Beniers in the backhander. Glove save by Sorokin. Here's Schaefer. Past 2 minutes in the third period on the start. And there's Holmstrom will send it out. Here's another shot, another save on the cord. Here's another one to Stephenson. He'll have that one carried it over to Matty Beniers. Beniers sets the pass to Osaic. Osaic waits, finds Kapakako. He looks over to Matty Beniers. Again, Osaic. 16:30 remaining. Kako shot, another save by Sorokin. Brian Bullock over to Schaefer. The Islanders change it up as Holmstrom's back in the net. And now a save again by Joey Core.
They're really starting to get so much energy from here. And what I mentioned that the Islanders fans are really watching on this, they got to see this. No matter what they do, they just got to get back into control of it. There's no matter what you really have to do for this, but when you're ever playing for the Islanders team, you have to be sure to be ready for it.
Anthony Duclair outside of the zone in the Seattle territory. Duclair behind the wall, gets right around by Osaic, and this one will be a rebound for Seattle. Suss the pass to right, sends offside with only 15:04 remaining in the third.
What Sorokin made it doing is impossible. The only way to make that save is recharging. Rehydrating is a better energy, and that's the best save of the game. And you really have to notice, and you have to do realize respect here for Sorokin. The biggest save is really going to connect to it. I really have to say this. Osaic is watching this one, and the big save of a recharge happens to be Sorokin. That's the better energy to give. Sorokin high up in the energy for the crowd. 15:04 remaining in the third period as they're ready to take another puck drop. And the win will be on the Islanders. Here's Pelich. Matthew Barzal. Over in middle. Lindgren with the steal. And plucked again by the cord. He'll have that one covered in with only 14:46 remaining in the third. 18/8 face-off wins for the New York Islanders. Starting to get a lot of pickoffs here to look for a tying game effort. Wright with the win. Now back to Lindgren. Lindgren is also on the back around the pass to Evans. And here comes Wright. He'll send it off to Chandler Stephenson. Took it with the fit kick. Kaka with the rebound. Oh, that nasty is really going to make it all over. Just the right texture to do it every time. What a big smackdown. Pass to Ritchie. Ritchie swings it. Save by the cord. Dives the effort with only 13:54 remaining in the third.
Oh my gosh, that Joey DeCour had that one with a lot of slapdown.
Just look at Adam Pellich. He just makes that hit. That goes on Chandler Stephenson. Bats quickly. Right through the game. Joey DeCourt saving a lot of big energy in the crowd, despite the effort to have that one with the early lead. They're starting to look for answers back here for New York Islanders. They got to start looking big. That broken up again by Holmstrom. And it's now Lindgren. Seattle to outside of it, and now we'll have a pass to Frederick Goodrow. Goodrow pass to Winterton. Winterton. Pass over to now to Dunn. Dunn on the other side of it, trying to give over to Evans this time, and it goes right over the other way. Looks for Dunn. Dunn. The pass over not finding to Evans. He'll have that one given again by Dunn. Dunn pass to Evans. Evans pass. Goodrow shot block. Holmstrom with the rebound for New York Islanders. They'll have it over another way for a new regroup. Now a new line change for the New York Islanders is Pellich. Save made by Joey DeCourt. Winterton gets it over to Melanson. And now Frederick Goodrow will have it skated out, and we'll have it dumped around the net. Islanders regaining the group. D'Angelo. Back to Andre Palat, outside on the ice. Holmstrom. Broken by Vince Dunn. McMahon will have some new line crew change for the Seattle Kraken. And broken by Pellet. Pellet shot. Transfer in place. Save by the corner. Back to Everly again to McMahon. Seattle getting a little regrouping here. Matty Beniers all alone. Save by the court by Sorokin. Kraken keeps moving around again. Now finding Matty Beniers. Just 11 minutes approaching in the third period. Montour. Shot. Glove save by Sorokin.
That Sorokin is going to definitely have to choose the energy to get back into this. Now the Isles fans really want this. And here in the midway mark, I think that's going to be the answer to give that calls right ahead.
Knocks it right toward the wall, gets a rebound here. Osaic with a rebound. Osaic with no contact. Here's Tovanen. Shoots, and a save again by Sorokin. Montour, Osaic. Got missed wide. And rebound by Matthew Barzal.
Matthew Barzal really is watching this, and the only thing that happens with Sorokin, this could be another great save of it. As for Seattle, they're trying to get that answers out and around it. They cannot let it go down.
Kraken back to Montour. Montour passes Osaic. Osaic, Kraken fires the save by Sorokin. Past the midway mark in the third period, he finds Barzal. And over to Mayfield. That one gets right off and across. Tovanen gets slammed down. Battling for the loose puck. This one goes back into New York territory. This one gets right over to Eli Tovanen. Mayfield. Behind the back. And now back to Gate Cone the other way.
I don't see any penalty calls here happening with Seattle. They're definitely trying to get that knocking out. I mean, this is definitely how bad they're going to get off to. No change-off would ever do the thing.
Right. Spins across that final side. Looks to Larson. Larson pass now finding the right on the backhander. Another save by Sorokin. Matthew Barzal now finds this Zizekas. Here's Zizekas, the overhead of it. He fires another save again by the court. Open look. Back to Osaic again. Pass off to Winterton. 7:15 to go in the third period. He'll have that one over to Kraken, and Scott Mayfield will have it overturned the other way. Zizekas. Over in the middle. They comb, and back to Winterton. This one will stop in for the goaltender to have that re-changing the group. Now Winterton will have the forward on the line change. Here's Gooderud. 6:3 to go in the third period. Dunn shoots, fires, and misses wide. On the fire shot, that was redirected and it's off the wall.
You don't get the crowd energy of that one here, and that really could definitely have that bad, painful look.
Islanders fans are disliking this as the Islanders player goes right toward into the Isles bench.
Oh, I don't like this stealing afterward. I mean, I wouldn't do this, not for anyone who really has that power to be. It looks like the Seattle Kraken is definitely getting a lot of money's worth. This revenge is going to definitely keep on happening.
Good takeaway by Winterton. Now Winterton's on a rush. Slings it over. The shot save by Sorokin. They're in a 5-minute mark in the third period. They'll be ready to have another puck drop ready.
Just look what Adam Larson made, and then just the last hit, that was right in toward the bench. He took a big clean to send it into the bench. Look out, fans and players.
Now, I mean, I wouldn't believe this because the Islanders are really starting to have a lot of angry issues here and mental breakdowns. I mean, this is definitely where it gets the problem with that. Seattle Kraken are looking for the win afterwards, but now the Islanders have got to stop it.
Past the 5-minute mark in the third, presented by Discover. He looks at Eberle. Backhander, another save for Sorokin. Matty Beniers, the former leader of it, takes down Matty Beniers. Here comes Anders Lee. The last time he had it was a breakaway chain, but what will he do now? Now back the other way for Seattle. Moves it with a cross with a nice flick. Matty Beniers past to McMahon. Back to Lindgren. Lindgren to Beniers. Fires it over, saved by Sorokin. Heineman. Again to Holmstrom. Holmstrom looks to Schaefer. And here's Lindgren. Pass up to Matty Beniers. Matty Beniers striking right toward the wall. Here's Heineman. Deep his arm to Shen. Shen shoots it. Saved by the cord. And back to Lindgren. Looks off to Evans. Finds Kapokako. And right. Hit his own to Kapokako. Looks to Stephenson. Outside Dunn. Dunn shoots. Another save by Sorokin. Kapokako will send it over to Stephenson. And glove save will stop and freeze the play with only 2:33 in the third period.
Just only one thing happens to Emil Heineman. That only has to take another hit. That goes with the nicest takedown, and then that's like tackling the other players. Get down! That really makes him hit.
In between them, those zones, no better questions asked.
All right, let's have your takes here, Brent, of who had the best player of the night.
Well, thank you very much, and I really have to say that the only one-played effort goes to Vince Dunn, who had that great assist here, and only for Joey DeCourt, he played all what he did. The only thing that happens with the only veteran player that I've ever seen it so far, he really had given some great instructional, and the big change-off really does for once. Now, as for Joey DeCourt, and as for Vince Dunn, they'll have to start getting some extra tacklers out there. They got to start watching it, and they got to pay attention with that. Here in the final man in the third. Let's see how they handle it.
Brent, thank you. Now fighting the Stephenson, you'll have that one cleared out. And my icing will be on Seattle. 1:16 to go in the third period. Seattle fans starting to show some support. And the visiting team are really surprised to have that win. And this is definitely what they really wanted to do. With the win, fires a shot on a save on the cord. And just down to a final minute in the third period. Kraken clears that one out. Wright will have it out. Schaefer ran with the Pegu. And the goaltender will be going into the bench shortly. Game Gabriel Pegu, done. We'll clear that zone. Kraken off the wall. Sends it out of here. 45 seconds in the third period. Holmstrom sets off to Palat. Sorokin's going to the bench. Extra tackler on for the Islanders. And over to Wright. He'll send that one out of here. Matthew Barzal with 30 seconds left in the third period. Anthony Duclair sends it off and around the glass. No pass off here. Stephenson broken it and stopped by the cord with 20 seconds in the third period. They're waiting for this moment for the Islanders to have that goal. But as for the Kraken, they're one step closer to winning. With Buccaneers, Montour clears the zone, sends it out of here. Icing on the Seattle. We'll get a freezing play with only 13.4 seconds left. And now they're ready to have another puck drop. Islanders need to win the face-off to have it. That one give it over. And as they toss it up, Kraken will send it off to McMahon. And he's going to get to the empty net. Shoots it wide. And therefore, Seattle has done it again. They're now the Inregular season champions. What a night. And to shut down the Islanders, the corner teams won it all.
Well, as you mentioned, the same thing with the also the deal with this sort of say, but now you know after winning all the better as you can.
Yeah, I gotta say this, but what did I understand? As the New York Islanders, they don't know what they did. They've done such a great job, and Seattle Kraken are now the regular season champions.
Well, that's it for now, folks. And with that, it has concluded, and we hope you all enjoyed the irregular matchups of the season. Along with my broadcast partner, along with me, Port 11 and Son of Beast, and along with Brent, DJ Beast, and Boomer, I'm Craig. Thanks for joining the irregular season finals championship. Good night in Long Island. All right, thank you, folks. Now it's time for 3 stars as Jimmy Alzaic will get that one with the first goal of the game in the finals and as his first star player. The second star player of the game goes to Joey DeCourt, who had 26 saves in the game. He really got done it all with the best effort that he ever did with this huge, miraculous save in motion. And your first star player goes to Elias Sorokin with only 38 saves, but his night was cut short because of the winning happened to be on Seattle.
And Seattle Kraken are the regular season tournament champions of the NHL 26. Here's how they did after the game. 40 over 27 total shots on goal for Seattle. 49 over 29 for New York Islanders on the get. Then it goes with 603 over 301 for Seattle Kraken time on attack. 87 over 86.59 for the New York Islanders passing effectiveness. And it was 20 over 13 face-off wins for the Islanders. And only a 2-minute penalty kill with no power plays for Seattle with 2 minutes. So therefore, that concludes the irregular season tournament. And what a way to have Seattle winning the whole thing.
Yeah, I know. It's been like just the only one thing that happened with that. The 5th seed took it over, and this upset was the underdog, but they took it all in control. What a way to end it here for the irregular matchup. But as it soon approaches, it will be the Stanley Cup playoffs. Stick around as we will have our number games coming up with you shortly. And these matchups won't be able to have that afterward to have that one keeping it going. So with all being said, along with my broadcasting partners and the crew, thanks for joining us for the NHL 26 of the irregular season tournament. And the Kraken are now the champions. And we'll see you all, folks, for the postseason of the Stanley Cup playoffs. That'll be just around the corner to get everything set.
Thank you, and have a great night.
And as for me, Terry, Cruz, and Roy, see you folks next time for as well as the NHL 26 gameplay of the NHL 26. Good night, everyone.
If you don't, somebody will.